for this afternoon, Tony Alberti. But now it's time to get down to football. Middletown and Lower Dauphin, a long-standing rivalry between these two teams, and they continue it today here on homecoming weekend for Middletown.
Now these two teams have met 4 times throughout the history of homecoming games here at Middletown. Middletown is 3-1 against Lower Dauphin, and the only loss came 2 years ago when Lower Dauphin beat Middletown 12-0, and Lower Dauphin went on to win the division championship as well as last year.
The Blue Raiders won the toss. They will receive the opening kickoff, and for Lower Dauphin, kicking the ball off will be Eric Miller. Back deep to receive for Middletown. Gary Coleman standing right now at his 2-yard line. Middletown in the blue shirts, gold pants. Lower Dauphin in the all-white uniforms with the blue trim. And we're about ready to get underway. Ball in play. Going to be kicked by Lower Dauphin. Going left to right at 91.1 FM, WMSS Middletown. Ball is in the air, and it drives Coleman all the way back to the goal line. He's fumbling the ball around there, picks it up at the goal line, and gets out to the 4-yard line. And actually, they're going to call a touchback because the ball did go into the end zone. They ruled that the ball went into the end zone before Coleman touched it, and therefore Middletown fortunate, and they will take over at the 20-yard line.
Oh, very fortunate, because Coleman, it looked like he tapped it. I thought he tapped it before it went in, but he didn't have control of it before it went in. That's the call, and it comes out to the 20. But he got dropped at the 4-yard line because he couldn't pick that football up, but it didn't matter.
Just underway here at Memorial Field, homecoming weekend for Middletown. Chris Blasi brings his team to the line with back split in the backfield, wing and wide to the far side. 1st and 10 from the 20. Blasi, the fake is to Coleman, rolling to the right side, and he's stormed under. A loss on the play. Brad Leckmeitner, the tackle, but a flag right around where the tackle was, and we're going to get a face mask against Leckmeitner of Lower Dauphin. It was an 8-yard loss on the play for the Blue Raiders as Leckmeitner just blew through there, but fortunate for Middletown.
Looked like most Lower Dauphin players bit the play fake, but Leckmeitner read it all the way. He was right back there, and Blasi didn't even have a chance to scramble away as Leckmeitner put him to the ground. But the face mask gives Middletown a 1st and 2.
So they're up on the 28-yard line after a 15-yard face mask penalty. Backs again split behind Blasi. Dupes is the wing to the near side. Pitch sweep over to Coleman on the left, trying to find room, and is brought down after no gain. Lower Dauphin smelled that one out quickly. It's going to bring up a 2nd down, and again, 2 yards to go. So Middletown had the double tight end set in that time. This time they bring in a wide out, and that is Neil Legor coming in for Bob Fitzgerald. Legor comes near side. You've got Dupes as the wing to the near side with back split. Baker is the man directly behind Blasi. 2nd down and 2. Give us to Baker up the middle, going left side. Has a hole at the 35. Brought down at the 40-yard line. 12-yard gain for Baker. 1st down, Middletown.
I'll tell you, the left side of the Middletown line had the hole open up between the guard and the tackle that time, and you just need a little hole for Baker to squirt through, and that's an easy 10-yard gain for J.J. Baker.
No score, just underway. 10:53 and counting left to go in this first quarter. Middletown has a 1st and 10 on their own 40-yard line. Blasi brings them up in a double tight formation. Dupes is the wingman to the near side. Give us to Coleman, sweeping left and slips down. He's going to lose a yard on the play. He had a little crease on the left side, but because he slipped, his knee touched down, and that's all it takes in high school football to make a man down. A loss of maybe a half a yard brings up a 2nd and a short 11.
Middletown went to the left side again, and that's Christensen and Rao, the guard and tackle on the left side, respectively. They'll be going to that side a lot.
Sayers and Dupes split to the far side this time. 2nd down and 11 for Middletown. Facing a six-man front, Blasey, a little pop pass over to Dupes in the right flank. He's got a little bit of room and a blocker. Takes out to the 45-yard line, brought down after a gain of 7. Down at the 46-yard line, Blasey's first pass attempt of the day, complete to Jesse Dupes for 7 yards. Second and a third down and 4 coming up for Middletown.
A nice play call by Dennis Hetze. He noticed that Lower Dauphin defenders were playing back off the receiver, and quick little pop pass, good for 7 yards. You take that every time.
Legor comes near side. Dupes is the wingman to the near side. Baker and Coleman split behind Blasey. Give us to Baker on 3rd and 4. He's got rambling room, and he's up across midfield all the way down to the Lower Dauphin 44-yard line. Another big chunk of yardage for J.J. Baker. Give him 10. First down, Blue Raiders.
And they're using that left side once again, Christensen and Rao. They could go to that all day.
Mark Sevenak in the game for the first time for Middletown as the wideout. He splits to the far side with 9 minutes and counting left to go in a scoreless first quarter. First and 10 for Middletown on the Lower Dauphin 44. 7 men across the front. The give us to Coleman. Sweeping left. Cuts back to the inside. Squirts through for 4 yards up to the 40-yard line. Brings up a second down and 6. A reminder to our listeners, John Wilsbach unable to be with us today, but we will have Harrisburg Heat Soccer coming up tonight at 6:50. Harrisburg Heat, their opener of the season, going to the defending champions, the Cleveland Crunch, and John Wilsbach will have the action from Cleveland tonight here on WMSS. Second down and 6 from the Lower Dauphin 40 for Middletown. Fake of the pitch sweep, and Baker gets the ball up the middle, and it's that guy again, Brad Lechleitner, right up the middle, stops him for a loss of 2.
I tell you, Lechleitner, big guy. Lechleitner stands 6'2", but he's 261, looks about 361 out there. He looks to be about the biggest player that Lower Dauphin's got to offer, and he's been in a few big plays already.
Big play there indeed for Lower Dauphin. Third down and 7 upcoming for Middletown at the Lower Dauphin 41-yard line. Dupes, Legor, split to the far side. Blasey calling the signals. He rolls to the right side. Looking for a man. It floats on him a little bit, and it's intercepted. Intercepted at the 28-yard line, making the pickoff for Lower Dauphin. Roy Warlow with the pickoff, a 5'9" sophomore for Lower Dauphin. So the Falcons will take over, and they're going to go hurry up right off the bat behind their quarterback, and their quarterback, Brian Broadwater. He's had a few brothers on this Lower Dauphin team in the past, and he will be calling the signals for the Falcons today. First and 10 for the Falcons at their own 28-yard line. Give is up the middle. And that is to Scott Lely. Not much room over there on the left side of the Middletown defense. Give them a yard up to the 29. Second down and 9 upcoming for the Falcons.
Middletown, that's Middletown's best defense, defending against the run. Lower Dauphin's going to have to mix it up today to be able to move the ball effectively against this Middletown team.
Mike Jackson comes split to the near side. Backs in the eye behind Broadwater. The give is to Lely. Tries the right side and minimal gain. Maybe about 2 as the inside of the Middletown defense closes again. Third down and 7 coming up for Lower Dauphin. Let's set those skills position players very quickly. Brian Broadwater, the quarterback. The fullback in front of Scott Lely is J.D. Schumann. Mike Jackson and Clyde Wolf spent a lot of time at the wideout positions. Jeremy Burrows is the tight end. Third and 7 for Lower Dauphin. Back to pass, and just throwing it away before he's pulled under by J.J. Baker. Broadwater fires it incomplete to the near side. Fourth down and 7, and the Falcons will have to punt it away.
Dennis Hetze has to be happy. Defensive unit went in, gave up 3 yards on 3 plays. 3 and out for Lower Dauphin.
6:04 left to go here in a scoreless first quarter. Middletown and Lower Dauphin. Brian Kaiser along with Steve Leedy here on the Blue Raider Sports Network. Back to punt for Lower Dauphin. Jeremy Burrows, and he shanks it off the side of his foot, takes a Middletown bounce and goes out of bounds on the Lower Dauphin side of the field at the 46-yard line.
I'll tell you, Corey Reed there may have affected the punt. Jeremy Burrows may have seen him out of the corner of his eye. Reed was putting heavy pressure in from the near side, and he just didn't get all of it. And Middletown will start in Lower Dauphin territory.
Middletown with a good drive to start off, but ended in an interception on a third down and long play. This time Blasey brings the team up in a double tight end situation. The give is to Baker, going left side, has a big hole, picks up 5 yards up to the Lower Dauphin 41-yard line, where it's going to be second down and 5 for the Blue Raiders. Again, if you missed our pregame show, the homecoming queen was announced, and winning the crown this year, Jennifer Nestor, with her escort, Tony Alberti. So our congratulations to her. And a couple other things happened. We'll talk about those in just a second on the pregame show. Blasey calling the signal, 2nd and 5 from the Lower Dauphin 41. Coleman gets the give going left side, picks up a yard before he's brought down on the play by Andy Strite and Ryan Lutz of the Falcon defense.
That was a good job by Coleman, though. Coleman could have got dropped in the backfield, but Coleman kind of snuck in between them and managed to fall forward. And when you're a 6-foot guy, it translates to about 2 extra yards, so he got back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 4 for Middletown, just across the 40-yard line of Lower Dauphin. Unbalanced line to the right side. The give is to Baker going left way. He has stood up at the line of scrimmage by 3 Falcon players and gets a yard, and that is all. Leading the charge, Jeremy Burrows from his defensive end position. And with 4:30 left to go here in the first quarter, no score, Middletown and Lower Dauphin. And Middletown, they're going to go for it here on 4th and 3.
And Burrows is a 6-foot 1-inch, 217-pound senior, and he was the first to get the Baker on that last play, and was pretty much an even-up shot.
Middletown goes 4th down and 3, unbalanced line to the right side. The give, Baker right side, has a hole and has the first down up to the 33-yard line, but a flag is thrown in the area where it normally is either a holding penalty against Middletown, and that is exactly what it is. It's going to come back, and Middletown will most likely be forced to punt.
Yeah, I believe Middletown will have to punt here. It'll put them back at the 50-yard line. You don't risk a 4th and 12 in the first quarter from midfield.
4 minutes exactly left to go here in the first quarter, and a big pickup of the first down there from Middletown, negated by a holding penalty.
It's not as bad as I thought it would be. It's 4th and 8 from the 45, and Middletown will still punt. The hold obviously came a little bit downfield.
And you obviously want to keep your field position advantage that Middletown has created already in this first half. J.J. Baker will stand back at his own 42-yard line to do the punting, and to receive for Lower Dauphin, Brian Broadwater is back at his 10. Baker gets the snap, kick is away. It's a good booming kick, and that's going to go into the end zone on the fly. So Lower Dauphin will get things started at the 20-yard line. We're going to take a quick break, a stoppage in the action. Our score, Middletown nothing, Lower Dauphin 9. 3:32 left to go here in the first quarter. Back with more on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Are you concerned about the future financial security?
Well, Lower Dauphin is going to go with the hurry-up offense once again. High formation behind Broadwater. Give this to Lely. Tries the left side. Bowls ahead for about 3 yards. He's up to the 23-yard line of Lower Dauphin. And the Falcons will have it 2nd down and 7.
That's the only way Lower Dauphin's been able to move the ball. The very little moving they did was running it a lot to the left side. And they did try a pass, but when they tried passing, J.J. Baker's been in the backfield.
Clyde Wolf, along with Brad Strom, are split to the near side. Officials timeout as Lely has a problem with his helmet right now. I'd like to thank one of our fine sponsors here on the Blue Raider Sports Network, as those of you who are watching the homecoming parade may have noticed the absence of the WMSS mobile. And that is because the WMSS mobile broke down just a little bit, but our fine sponsors from Daly's Golf helped us out, got it going, but just could not get there in time to make it to the parade. Our apologies for those of you hoping to get to wave to us. 2nd down and 7 play. Lely gets the pitch sweep going left side, picks up 4 or 5 yards up to the 28-yard line. It's going to be a 3rd down and 2 coming up for Lower Dauphin.
Oh, interesting play call coming up for Vince Pantalone. He's been able to pick up 3 and 5 yards on his past 2 runs. We'll see what he does on 3rd and short here.
No bones about it. Lely's been the man. Anytime they decide to hand the ball off, he's the guy who gets it. 3rd down and 2 from the 28-yard line of Lower Dauphin. The Falcons have the ball. Broadwater calling the signals, and somebody jumped on the Middletown side. It was Brian Widener jumping, and we'll see if he was pulled or not. It is an offside against Middletown, and that's going to give Lower Dauphin a 1st down on penalty.
Well, that makes the 3rd and 2 call very simple. Don't do anything.
So it's going to be a 1st down for Lower Dauphin at the Lower Dauphin 33-yard line. 2:10 left to go in a scoreless 1st quarter. Backs in the eye behind Broadwater. We got a wing and a split to the near side. Broadwater calling the signals. The counter direction give goes to Brad Strom from the wingback position. Good job defensively from Middletown as they stop that little gadget play for a 3-yard pickup. Brings up a 2nd down and a long 7. And again, Lower Dauphin hurry up offense as the wing and split to the near side once again. Backs in the eye. Lely is the deep man. And the fullback is J.D. Schumann. Give is to Lely, going to the right side. Big hole opens up at the 40, up to the 45-yard line. 1st down Lower Dauphin as Scott Lely picks up 8 yards.
It's the first time Lower Dauphin's been able to create a real big hole for Lely to go through up the middle. Majority of his yardage has been to the outside thus far, but that time nice hole by the line.
A little bit of a drive going for Lower Dauphin as Broadwater calling the signals at their own 45-yard line. Gives to Lely, tries the middle of the left side of the Middletown defense and picks up only 3 yards that time. 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Falcons.
Stop made that time by Craig Rowell of Middletown. Craig Rowell, he is 6'2", 240-pound senior for this Middletown team. He's been the mainstay on defense and offense for Middletown.
He's a 3-year starter as well for this team. He's a guy who gives his all out there on the football field. 2nd down and 7. Back to pass goes Broadwater. Sprint to the left side, overthrows his man, and almost intercepted by Mark Sevenak in the secondary, but there is a flag down on the play. We'll see exactly what that is. It was thrown at the Middletown 45-yard line in the defensive secondary. We're going to have an ineligible receiver downfield against the Falcons with 26 seconds left to go here in the 1st quarter.
What does Middletown do here? I either march them back 5 or you decline it and makes it 3rd and 7.
They're going to decline the penalty, and they're going to make it 3rd down and 7 for Lower Dauphin on the incomplete pass. So they'll have a 3rd down and 7 from their own 48-yard line to the Falcons. Coming to the near side is Mike Jackson, along with the slot receiver now, Brad Strom. In the shotgun is Broadwater. Back to pass. Fires. Has a man, Jackson, and knocked away at the last second by Jan Michael Lawrence. Pass was down to the Middletown 40-yard line. Jackson had to move to his right to try to receive it, and Lawrence got in there at the last second and knocked it away.
That was a heck of a play by Lawrence. He stopped, turned around, noticed Jackson was going for the ball, and Lawrence was just at the right angle to come in and hit him as soon as the ball got there. Drops incomplete.
Big ball game for both teams. It's a very emotional series between Lower Dauphin and Middletown, and so far it's being played like it. 0-0 our score. 4th down and 7. Fox almost getting in there to block it, block the punt, and the ball drops down at the 30-yard line, takes a very nice Lower Dauphin bounce down to the 16-yard line of the Blue Raiders, and that's where they will start things on this series. with 10 seconds left to go here in the first quarter.
That was a very favorable bounce for Burrows. Got an extra 15 yards on that punt.
That's going to be the last play of the first quarter. And after one quarter, our score, Middletown nothing, Lower Dauphin nothing. Steve Leedy with the call of the second quarter. Coming up after this, Homecoming 94 continues here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Are you concerned about the future financial security of your family or business? When was the last time you had your life and disability insurance reviewed and your investment and retirement program analyzed? For answers to these important questions, call a professional, Tim Knoll, COU. He is a local chartered financial consultant with more than 28 years experience. Call Tim at 939-0968 for a free consultation. That's 939-0968.
Now you can catch the excitement of Blue Raider football on videotape. The Blue Raiders Sports Network and the Middletown Athletic Department presents Middletown football on VHS. All the games, home or away, recorded on videotape with the actual WMSS broadcast. Save all the exciting moments of Middletown football for years to come. Each tape costs just $10 and proceeds benefits WMSS Student Radio and Middletown Athletics. You'll never miss a game again. Tapes available at all Middletown home games or by calling the Middletown Recreation and Athletic Office. Get your Middletown football game tape today.
Welcome back, Middletown Memorial Field. Middletown takes over on their own 17-yard line. Split backfield is Baker and Coleman. Dupes wing to the far side. Handoff will go to Coleman, trying to go around the left side, gets stood up immediately. Maybe even lost a yard. Yes, he did. He lost 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 12 for the Raiders.
You know, except for that first drive that Middletown had where they drove down the field pretty well, and even on that drive for the most part, Steve, Middletown has had trouble with this Lower Dauphin front wall, and Lower Dauphin putting 6 to 7 players up on the line of scrimmage, and the thing to remember for Middletown is if they can get clear of that line of scrimmage, there's not much deeper, much help to help out bring a ball carrier down if they get into the backfield.
2nd and 12, handoff goes to Baker. He goes through the middle. Pickup of about 3 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and long. About 3rd and 9 coming up for the Raiders.
Interesting situation for Middletown as Blasey has had trouble in the last game. He had trouble in the last game throwing the ball. He had a couple completions, one completion on the first drive for Middletown, a little pop pass that picked up 7, but later on in the drive he got intercepted. So it's going to be interesting confidence-wise to see how Blasey comes out of here if they even throw the ball or if they go with that counter crisscross that they like to use in this situation.
Now Dupes is a wing to the near side. The handoff will go to Coleman around the near side. He's not going to have enough for a first down, though. He's going to be stopped well shy, about 5 yards short of the first down. Middletown will be forced to punt. Lower Dauphin defense with a good showing here at the beginning of the second quarter.
If you missed our pregame show, you missed the presentation of a little trophy, a memento for Coach Dennis Etsy of Middletown, commemorating his 100th victory here at Middletown, and that occurred last Friday in their game against Central Dauphin East. It was presented, the award, in the pregame by Middletown principal Casper Vortifer.
Baker puts up another booming punt. Broadwater takes it at his own 38, and the coverage was there for Middletown, as he can only return it for about 4 yards. Looks like Mark Sevenak over there on the tackle.
Mark Sevenak, that first player over there, he's played very well in recent weeks. He's limping a little bit coming to the near side, favoring his knee just a little bit, but Jesse Dupes was also over there on the coverage, and Sevenak's going to have to come out of the game. And Middletown not prepared for that, and they call timeout.
Well, a timeout on the field will take one as well. 9:54 left to play in the second quarter. It's Middletown nothing, Lower Dauphin nothing here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
The moment you walk into Rhodes Pharmacy, you'll notice a difference. You'll see it in the way they act, the way they talk, and the way you're treated. Rhodes Pharmacy is under new management, so whether you need a prescription, a non-prescription item, cards, gifts, or professional advice. The friendly Rhodes staff is anxious to serve your needs. Rhodes Hummelstown store is open 7 days a week. In Middletown, Rhodes Pharmacy is open 9 to 8 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday.
Talk about service.
The people here are so friendly. They're just terrific.
Talk about value.
I like Fox's because of the convenience, the quality, the prices.
Talk about quality and freshness.
I especially like the meats and the produce.
Let's talk about all the reasons why Fox's Market make you feel good. Fox's Market.
Fox's is a proud supporter of Middletown athletics.
Fox's Market make you feel good.
Back, Middletown Memorial Field. Broadwater shotgun, fumbled it, picked it back up at his own 25, under pressure, throws, incomplete. Good thing for Broadwater that Jackson noticed what was happening and came back where Broadwater had somebody to throw to, as the snap was a little bit high and to the left, and he had to stumble around and pick it up. And by that time, Middletown had 3 shirts in the Lower Dauphin backfield, chasing him down. Brings up a 2nd and 10 from the from the Lower Dauphin. 43-yard line, Broadwater in the gun again. Takes a snap, now he's going to run to the far side. Cross midfield almost, and he gets buried on the far side.
That was Randy Hefner. This is a kid who's just played so well in the last couple of weeks. An interception against Paul Meyer, returned for a touchdown, and last week just played a tremendous game at middle linebacker, in for the injured Mike Dupes, and he's getting spot action a lot at the middle linebacker position now, with Dennis Etsy liking to send his players one way only. And Hefner, a huge stop on that play.
We got an injury here. I believe it might be Broadwater. I don't see him on the field.
I can understand it, because that's where he took the shot, right over there by the Lower Dauphin bench, and he just got rocked over there by Hefner. He drove him out of bounds. May have knocked the wind out of him. We're hoping maybe that's about all it is, if that is Broadwater on the far side.
No, I don't see him on the field. This would be a huge loss for Lower Dauphin.
No question about it, if that is the case. Just a huge crowd here today. Nary an empty seat for the most part around this place, as a lot of people home for homecoming. A lot of Middletown alumni, and a reminder that the Middletown Alumni Dinner is tonight for homecoming. And you might want to see if you can check that out. Not sure if tickets are still available for that or not, and if you already have tickets, always a great time at the homecoming dinner, that coming up tonight.
Well, Brad Santana is going to check into the game for at least a play. Broadwater got up. Looks like he's okay. He may have just got the wind knocked out of him.
Well, the hit by Hefner was right underneath the shoulder pads, and that's usually when a player goes down as hard as Broadwater does. That's usually the kind of penalty it is.
Now Lower Dauphin's going to take timeout, and while we have the time, we're going to go down onto the field to Justin Perry for an injury update on Mark Sevenak.
Thank you, Steve. Mark Sevenak just got a helmet on the chin, and it's just a contusion. They're going to check him out. He's iced up. If he can run, he's going to be back in the game. Back upstairs to you.
All right, thank you very much, Justin Perry. So Mark Sevenak may be coming back into the game. Now you get a helmet on the shin. That hurts pretty good.
Oh, no question about it. A little contusion there. Of course, he's going to ice that up. We'll see exactly what happens with Sevenak. Reminder to our fans, Fox's Foods now has all of our Middletown Blue Raider broadcasts on videotape, and you can purchase them at Fox's Foods. Just check on in there to Fox's, to the front window. They've got them there, and also they have signs at the checkout counters as well. So all you have to do, go down to Fox's, ask for a little bit of information on the Blue Raider football tapes, and they'll be able to help you at Fox's Foods.
Al Santana's going to stay in the game at quarterback. He's got Lully and Schumann in the backfield. We've got movement, and Craig Rowell jumped. Was he drawn?
Well, the one player who's trying to point to the other team is not the guy you want to see pointing. You want to see Craig Rowell pointing to the other team. Unfortunately, it was Jesse Dupes from Middletown trying to point to the other team, and when Rowell just got up and started walking away, that was sort of the indication that he knew he was the man at fault. And that is the situation in this situation.
That was the second first down that Lower Dauphin was given to them via Middletown penalty, and now they have it in Middletown territory. 9:41 left to play in the second quarter. Still scoreless. Lower Dauphin now starting to go on the move.
And Mechanicsburg knocked off East Pennsboro last night, so Mechanicsburg remains undefeated Mid-Penn 2 play. So this is a huge game for the Middletown Blue Raiders to stay undefeated in accordance with both their Mid-Penn Division 2 title hopes, as well as to stay in the hunt for a District 3 AAA playoff berth. A loss, and they're out of it. Lower Dauphin would like nothing better than to knock their crosstown rivals out of that playoff spot.
First and 10 from the Middletown 47. Santana gives it to Lely, and he is stopped immediately. May have fallen forward for about a yard. That's where the spot is. Middletown defense there again up the middle.
Very interesting, Steve, that Lower Dauphin continues to try the middle of that Middletown defensive line. They've been trying to go between the guards, and they have had very little success there. When they have bounced to the outsides, though, that is where Lower Dauphin has had more success. So they may be setting up an outside run to Lely coming up with that inside play.
Second and 9 for the Falcons. Power I backfield wing and split near side. Now Strom will go in motion. Handoff goes far side to Lely, and he gets knocked out of bounds after a pickup of only 3 yards. And Lower Dauphin's going to be faced again with a third down and long situation.
Well, that's exactly what we saw there. That was the pitch to the outside, trying to get Lely loose and taking advantage of Middletown's aggressiveness in the middle. But it was good team defense as they swarmed to the left side, saw Lely going over there, and got their pursuit, especially the end over there, Corey Reed getting out quickly and containing that play and knocking Lely out of bounds after a gain of only 2.
Third and 8. Broadwater in the shotgun, will throw, gets nailed, but gets a pass off. It's complete to Strom, and he's going to be a little short of the first down, and Broadwater got nailed pretty good again.
Well, Middletown didn't really handle that coverage too well that time. The wingback came in motion to the near side that time. That gave Lower Dauphin 3 receivers to the near side. Middletown with only 2 cover guys, and Jesse Deuce was trying to get J.J. Baker to drop into coverage, but Baker was given the signals to go on the blitz that time, and Baker, and along with 2 other players from Middletown, were unable to get to Broadwater before he could get the pass off to that 3rd receiver, who was just short of the first down by a yard.
I'll tell you, Middletown's going to have to practice that, because that's what Mechanicsburg does a lot. I was over and watched Mechanicsburg and East Pennsboro last night, and Mechanicsburg won that game 21-6. There's timeout on the field. Lower Dauphin takes timeout. We'll take one as well. 8:23 left to play, second quarter. It's scoreless here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Metzler's Hillsdale Nursery in Londonderry Township has a variety of plants and flowers like hollies and azaleas. They sell young plum and crabapple trees. In December, don't forget that Metzler's has Christmas trees. They even have mulch. Metzler's is open 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. weekdays, 8 till 5 on Saturdays. That's Metzler's Hillsdale Nursery at Hillsdale Road and Gyers Church Road near Sunset Golf Course in Londonderry Township.
Fourth and 1, and the handoff goes to Schumann, and he gets enough yardage for the first down on a 4th and 1 play from the Middletown 36-yard line. They now have it on the Middletown 34, and they're threatening.
The first carry by somebody other than Lely, first intended carry. Broadwater scrambled a couple times in this ball game already, but first time Schumann touched the ball, and he picks up a big first down from the fullback.
Lely goes out of the game. Orwin comes in. The handoff goes to Schumann, and he gets hit at about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, but was able to drive forward for another good 5 yards. That's a big play by Schumann, and gives Lower Dauphin a 2nd and 3 from the Middletown 26-yard line.
J.D. Schumann, not a big guy necessarily at the fullback position, 5'10", 164 pounds. He's a junior, but the guy got hit, and a lot of credit to him. He did not stop driving the feet, didn't stop moving, and because of that, he picks up a first down. But Lower Dauphin having all sorts of problems with play calling right now, and they take another timeout.
Well, they take another timeout. We'll take one as well. 7:21 left to play in the second quarter. Middletown nothing, Lower Dauphin nothing here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
They're America's Most Wanted. And if you're in need of a haircut, style cut, or perm, you can find America's Most Wanted. Their names are Doug, Bob, Sherry, Nancy, and Virginia. They can be found at the Olmsted Plaza Barbershop and Beauty Shop. They have the look for every man, woman, and kid. Middletowners want them, and Middletowners find them at the Olmsted Plaza Barbershop and Beauty Shop at the James Way Plaza. Open Mondays through Thursdays from 9 until 7, Friday from 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 3.
Welcome back, Middletown Memorial Field. Lower Dauphin, I don't know, they can only have one timeout left if they have any at all. They just burnt two of them there in the past few plays of this drive, but they got a good one going, 2nd and 3 from the Middletown 27-yard line. Handoff goes to Schumann, and he gets met at the line of scrimmage and dropped after a pickup of about 1.5 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Big Randy Hafner on the play there again, clogged the hole from the linebacker position. Very important for Middletown to shut down that Schumann play. One of those telegraph plays where you go to the well once too often. That's exactly what Vince Pantalone did that time.
Lully's still out of the game for Lower Dauphin. Orwin is the tailback. Handoff goes to Schumann around the left side, and he's going to be close. I don't know if he got it. Looks like it. I'll tell you, it's too close to call for me.
Well, one thing you got to admit about Vince Pantalone, coach of Lower Dauphin, he has a lot of confidence in his big offensive line. That offensive line of Jason Rode, you've got Dave Hoops, Brad Lechleitner, the brother actually of Brad Lechleitner, that's Brett Lechleitner. You've got Andy Streit, you got Mike Rhodes, and he's a great story. We'll have to talk about that later on in this broadcast.
Break out the credit card, and Lower Dauphin got it by a hair.
A lot of confidence shown in that offensive line from Vince Pantalone, as he just said, guys, go out there and grind me a couple yards out. I'm going to give it to my big fullback, let him follow you guys. He's not going to try to break any tackles, nothing fancy. He's just going to go in there behind you guys and try to pick up that first down. That's exactly what they did.
1st and 10 from the Middletown 24. Santana, the quarterback, has power I wing and split to the near side. Play action now. He's rolling to the far side. Little pass complete to Schumann, and he gets nailed immediately as he caught the ball, but he did hang on for a pickup of about 5 yards for the Falcons, and they're down inside the Middletown 20.
Interesting to see why Broadwater not in the game. Maybe he's still suffering some effects of that blow he took earlier, but you've got Brad Santana, a sophomore quarterback in the ball game, and a good job by Santana as he just rolled to the right side. Middletown not liking something they see defensively, and they call timeout.
Middletown calls timeout. We'll take one as well. 5:47 left to play in the first half. It's still scoreless between Middletown and Lower Dauphin here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Daly's Golf of Middletown caters to the avid Blue Raider sports fan. Daly's Golf has minor engine repair, oil changes, new tire installation. In fact, they do just about everything automotive. Joe Daly or any one of the fine mechanics at Daly's Golf will help you with your automotive needs. Daly's is open Monday through Friday, beginning with early bird service at 5:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. or Saturday from 7 till 5. Daly's Golf at the corner of Main and Spruce Street.
Newcomer Oil Corporation presents Pacific Pride, a new convenient way to purchase gasoline and diesel fuel. Pacific Pride is open 24 hours a day, and it's simple to use. Just use the Pacific Pride fuel card. Fuel up your automobile and be on your way. It's that quick and easy. You also receive monthly discounts for fuel purchases. Pacific Pride is located at the corner of E-Mall and Adelia Streets in Middletown. For information about becoming a Pacific Pride fuel customer, call Newcomer Oil Corporation at 944-5251. That's 944-5251.
Second and 5 for Lower Dauphin. The handoff goes to Strom around the far side, gets down inside the 10-yard line, knocked out of bounds. Penalty flags fly. It's either going to be a late hit or possibly a face mask against Middletown.
Very fortunate for Middletown as that time they played the misdirection to the wingback well the last time they saw, but this time they followed the motion of the backfield, and instead it was the wingback Strom getting the give, going to the right side, the short side of the field. Got good yardage on that play. And first and goal coming up for Lower Dauphin.
Well, he got the ball down to the 6-yard line, and with the personal foul, that's going to take it half the distance, so now Lower Dauphin has it first and goal from the 3.
A late hit, a mental mistake from Middletown on that play. Very fortunate for Middletown that Jan Michael Lawrence was able to get over there and trip up Strom before he got into the end zone. He almost got that corner turned for Lower Dauphin.
Santana, the quarterback, has power eye to the right. Handoff will go to Lely. Lely goes in for the touchdown. Right up the middle for Scott Lely. And Lower Dauphin takes a 6-0 lead.
Just following the big horses in front. Give a lot of credit to that offensive line. They went with the power eye, as you said, Steve Leedy. And plenty of blocking in front of Lely. He had an easy pass, just jumped on the back of one of his linemen, and he carried him right into the end zone.
Lower Dauphin had the ball for about 5 minutes. Seemed like about a half hour real time. That drive took a lot of regular clock time. There's a snap. The kick for the extra point is good by Eric Miller. And Lower Dauphin leads 7-0. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Lower Dauphin will be set to kick it back off to Middletown here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Are you concerned about the future financial security of your family or business? When was the last time you had your life and disability insurance reviewed and your investment and retirement program analyzed? For answers to these important questions, call a professional, Tim Knoll, COU. He is a local chartered financial consultant with more than 28 years experience. Call Tim at 939-0968 for a free consultation. That's 939-0968.
Welcome back. Middletown Memorial Field, and Lower Dauphin has just taken a 7-0 lead over the Raiders. 5:35 left to play in the second quarter. That drive took 4 minutes, 25 seconds, and 10 plays for the Falcons.
Well, you got to admit that great drive for Lower Dauphin as they controlled the ball well in that situation.
Miller, his kick actually hit at the 5-yard line and got picked up by Coleman at the 2. The ball was not going to go in the end zone, so Coleman had to pick it up, and he returns it out to the 15-yard line. That was a dangerous kickoff by Miller. It just hit at the 5, and that was one of those golf shots.
You know, it's late reaction from Middletown as their players went over. The deep man Coleman and also the up back on that side, Mike Treader, just sort of looked at each other, looked at the ball, and just let it bounce, just thinking this is either going to go out of bounds or into the end zone. And that was not the case. And finally, Coleman did a great job just getting up to the 15-yard line.
Wings of both sides. Sayers is split far side. Now Dupes goes in motion to the far side as well. Blasey keeps it himself, cuts through the middle, picks up a nice chunk of ground. Looks like he's going to get about 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4.
That's a good move from Middletown. The play calling, their regular sets were not working, so what do? You change up the set a little bit. You go with that option motion and give them another option to think about. The up the middle, the quarterback, and the pitch man. And that time, Blasey kept it himself, turned it upfield, picked up 7 yards, a good gain on the option for the Middletown quarterback.
Legor split to the far side. Sayers split to the near side. Baker, the single setback handoff will go to Coleman in motion to the far side. And he's going to be close to the first down, but he fumbled the football. And looks like Jesse Dupes,
that is
I
correct,
believe, came up with it.
Jesse Dupes with a fumble recovery, and that ball just popped out of Coleman's hands at the last second. Lower Dauphin just smothering Coleman anytime he touches the ball. Baker's had his holes there, but Coleman has not had the room that we have seen him get many times this year. Lower Dauphin's defense doing a fine job on the star Middletown halfback so far in this ball game.
Now Baker and Coleman split in the backfield. Dupes is the wing, the far side. Two tight ends to the near side.
8 men on the line of scrimmage.
Handoff goes to Baker up the middle. He gets nowhere.
That's just a bad day. You know, you've got to adjust a little bit. And Lower Dauphin is basically telling you, our job is we're going to stop the run here. We're going to put 8 men on the line of scrimmage, and we're basically just going to ignore your receivers. And they are able to do that because Middletown is not throwing the football. And, I mean, in the previous so many games, Middletown's been able to get away with that because they've been able to run the football. But right now they're having trouble. They may have to throw this football just to keep the Lower Dauphin defense honest.
Baker the single setback. Coleman is the wing to the near side. Dupes is lined up as a split end. There's the snap, and it's fumbled, and it's going to be picked up by Lower Dauphin. Costly turnover for Middletown, gives Lower Dauphin the ball on the Middletown 24-yard line.
This Middletown team just looks lethargic right now here in the second quarter. They came out well in the first drive, maybe a little bit of emotion from homecoming, but, you know, letting down just a little bit. They had the long drive that they gave up from Lower Dauphin, and now two little miscues. The first one they got away with, the Coleman fumble, but this time just a fumbled exchange from Blasi and his center Widener, and that results in a big turnover for Lower Dauphin in Middletown territory.
Now Lower Dauphin threatening to score again. Santana, the quarterback. Broadwater still out. Power I backfield. Pitch goes back to Lely. It's the halfback option, and Lely's going to run with it. He had some room to the far side. Picks up about 5 yards. He was going to throw it, but he had pressure coming from Middletown player, and he wisely decided to run.
And a great play, not biting from his safety position on that play, was the safety Mike Treader. He was with that play and the wide receiver Mike Jackson all the way. That's why Lely had to turn it up and run the ball.
2nd and 5. Power I backfield once again for the Falcons. Split near side. Handoff goes to Lely, and he's close to first down yardage. It's got to be real close to get another first down by the Middletown 14-yard line. And hard to say. Looks like he's going to be a little short.
A little bit short.
Now Lower Dauphin probably going to pound it up the middle again because they've had success doing that on 3rd and about a foot. Power I backfield. The handoff will go to Schumann, and he's got first down yardage down near the Middletown 11, 12-yard line.
Josh Schiavone better be careful because that time Schumann was obviously down, and Schiavone just had him wrapped around the feet and just yanked him backwards kind of viciously. Pull something like that again, he might get a flag for it. Very fortunate, I believe, to get away with that. But again, just great execution. The offensive line closing down the splits. They want to run it up the middle. That's exactly what they do at will against Middletown so far.
Power I once again. Handoff goes to Lely, and he gets dumped after about a 1-yard gain. That time, Middletown seemed to get that surge into the backfield.
Well, it was Craig Rowell jumping into the backfield. Got underneath the legs of Lely. It was able to get the arm up between the wickets and trip up Lely on that play. And a good play from Rowell, getting that penetration, finding a crease. And he's the kind of player who's got to get that penetration and bring his team up a little bit.
Same formation again. Power I, handoff to Lely. Tries to go up the middle again. Picks up a few yards this time. Looks like he got about 3. It's going to bring up 3rd. And 5 to go from the Middletown 7.
And give that tackle to Randy Hefner on that play as again from the middle linebacking position. He was there, ready to clog that hole, and stood up the man and drove him down into the ground. But again, Lely picks up 4 yards, and it's a big 3rd down play for the Falcons.
Craig Rowell comes off the field for Middletown. Power I backfield for Lower Dauphin again. This time Santana's going to throw. He's got a man open. Nice play by Sevenak to reach across and get that hand in there. He was looking for Wolf in the end zone, but Sevenak just got that paw in there and knocked the ball away.
He may or may not have touched the ball on that play, but regardless if he did, just getting that hand in there was enough to throw off the timing of that play. And it's going to be interesting. Eric Miller, a very fine field goal kicker, and that is exactly what the call is going to be here. He will be attempting a field goal, and We're going to call this one a 23-yard attempt from the Falcons.
On 4th and 5, there's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it's good. So while we have timeout on the field, we'll take one as well. 58 seconds left to play in the first half. It's Lower Dauphin 10, Middletown nothing here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Now you can catch the excitement of Blue Raider football on videotape. The Blue Raiders Sports Network and the Middletown Athletic Department presents Middletown football on VHS. All the games, home or away, recorded on videotape with the actual WMSS broadcast. Save all the exciting moments of Middletown football for years to come. Each tape costs just $10 and proceeds benefits WMSS Student Radio and Middletown Athletics. You'll never miss a game again. Tapes available at all Middletown home games or by calling the Middletown Recreation and Athletic Office. Get your Middletown football game tape today.
Welcome back, Middletown Memorial Field. That drive took 7 plays, 2 minutes and 25 seconds, and you can say the key play was the fumble snap.
The fumble exchange from Blasey and Widener that really set that entire series up, and Lower Dauphin didn't really have to move it a whole lot to get into field goal range, and that's exactly what happened.
Miller's kick, deep once again. Treader takes it back by the goal line. He's out to the 15, cutting near side 20, out to the 30-yard line before he's finally stopped by Lower Dauphin. That time a good return for Middletown, and Miller, the kicker for Lower Dauphin, he can boot that ball on a kickoff, get it down inside the 5-yard line. All 3 times he's kicked it.
Oh, there's no question he's got a very strong leg. That's why they have all the confidence in the world in him to kick that field goal. And, you know, in high school football, having a good kicker is such a big situation.
40 seconds left in the first half here. Middletown, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Clock's running 33 seconds. Blasey has double wing, and I think everybody thought there was going to be a flag. It looked like everybody stopped. Either that or the snap count was a wee bit early.
Well, what happened on that play, Middletown was just planning on downing that ball, and some people figured that out and some people didn't, because all Blasey was going to do was dive into the line, and his lineman didn't block for him. He didn't go down on a knee immediately. He sort of took the ball and sort of stabbed forward. And now with 2 seconds left, they're going to call a timeout.
Middletown does call timeout with 1 second left here in the first half. I don't know, maybe Dennis Etsy's got the big trick play of the ages coming up. I don't know.
He's going to need it on this one. I like the idea of just downing the ball and just taking your losses into the locker room at halftime. This has not been a good first half, and you know, for Middletown, it's not been a good first half. It's a situation where really the tone was set on the first drive. They drove the ball well on the first drive of this game, but it ended in an interception, and ever since that time, you saw that momentum swing a little bit, and Lower Dauphin was able to put a long drive of their own together, and they scored on theirs. Very important play there. They took the early lead, and they're up 10-0, and unless Middletown just pulls something miraculous off, it's going to be the score at halftime.
Last week, we did see Sevenak going a long fly pattern, and it was complete by Blasey to Sevenak. This time, Blasey looking to throw, and that's exactly what it is, the fly pattern to Sevenak. He almost had it. It went right through his hands, but it wouldn't have mattered because the coverage was there and right on him. We have reached halftime.
On that situation, you know, Lower Dauphin very fortunate on that play because Sevenak was open, and there was no one to bring him down if he would have been able to catch that ball in stride. The man behind him, that was Roy Warlow. He's a sophomore, and the safety man, Ryan Lutz, he was nowhere to be seen on that play. Sevenak just broke that play down the near sideline, had room, beat his man by a good 2 steps, and if he catches that ball in stride, he could get in the end zone. You've got to sit back a little bit. You know Middletown has to go to the end zone with that one, and if you're the safety man, you can't let the ball get behind you.
So we have reached the end of the second quarter. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the halftime show. Our score, Lower Dauphin 10, Middletown nothing here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network. Welcome back, Middletown Memorial Field. Lower Dauphin up by a score of 10-0 here at halftime. And if I remember correctly, Middletown will be kicking the ball off to start this game, or to start the second half of play.
And that would be correct, Steve. Middletown returned the opening kickoff in the first half. So the defense is going to have to come out big for the Blue Raiders as the team captain's walking out to midfield for the Blue Raiders. Jesse Dupes, along with Mike O'Donnell and Ed Fox as the captains for Middletown, as well as Gary Coleman and Craig Rowell walking out to midfield behind them. And Mike Rhodes is one of the captains for Lower Dauphin. This is a guy who, over the summer, was receiving chemotherapy for Hodgkin's disease and wasn't expected to play football. He came out and played. Stepped in a hole during the preseason, cracked a bone in his ankle, and was not expected to play. He's out here playing. He's a kid with a lot of guts for Lower Dauphin, and you really have to take your hat off to a kid like that who has gone through as much as he has in this past year especially, and is still out here on the field. Rhodes is a 6'2", 284-pound senior, and he's in there, really an inspirational leader for this Lower Dauphin team. He plays both ways for them and is a fine athlete, and with all the problems that he's gone through, really having a tremendous season for this Falcons team.
You take a look at high school football, and it's all about school spirit, playing for your own school. It's not like professional football. You're not getting paid to play.
Or like college, which you're also getting paid to play.
Yeah, you're getting paid to play sometimes, some places.
And some places, but you also have to remember, a lot of these schools get paid to play with scholarships. Scholarships.
Yep. Exactly correct. If you don't perform well on the field, they could take your scholarship away from you, but that's a different ball game. This is high school football, and it's 10-0 Lower Dauphin. Middletown set to kick the ball off. Blasi to do the honor. It's a short kick to the 45, taken by one of the up men, and that was Dave Brinzer, and he got dropped almost immediately. Almost looked like good punt coverage from Middletown as they were almost there when the kickoff came.
Means able to lick your wounds, move on with your life with some security. Maybe. God, I hate saying this. Maybe you should just forget about Victor. Forget about revenge. Hell, you're gonna get the last laugh in this anyway. Just enjoy it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you should just phone Victor. Accept the offer. Let this nightmare finally be over. It's one hell of a tough phone call to make.
I hear you.
Victor, it's me.
Yes?
How are you?
Fine, thank you. Did Jack speak to you today?
Yes.
And?
Sounds very cold.
So what else is new? Come on, you're gonna get the last laugh here. Take his offer and run.
The reason I called...
What's that?
I don't know.
What is going on?
Victor, I'm gonna have to put you on hold.
Who is it?
Ken, open up. I know you're in there.
It's Michael.
I must talk to you. It's important to your future. It could change everything. I just need some
Ignore him.
It's true. Don't shut me out now. You have no idea how critical this is.
Why do the classics endure? Because they were done right. Like Hidden Valley. It's the original, not new or...
Punt coverage was from Lower Dauphin. Blassie started out to the left and to the near side of the field. Was cut off there. Tried to cut it back off to the right side of the field. Was cut off there and eventually just had to dive up the middle where he was tackled by two Lower Dauphin players. Excellent punt coverage.
Split backfield for Middletown, two tight ends, one to each side. Dupes is the wing to the near side. Handoff goes to Coleman. Coleman coming around near side. Breaks a few tackles, gets across the 30, across the 35. Up to the 40, now breaks another tackle, gets down to the 45-yard line, and there is Gary Coleman.
And no question about it, Gary Coleman, a tough first half, and it just looked like on that play, as soon as Coleman touched the ball, I noticed a difference in how he ran it. He looked much more aggressive, took the handoff, and knew that this is where this Middletown team needs Gary Coleman. Took it with a purpose, hit the hole hard, got good blocking on the left side from the Middletown offensive line, and broke a big one, a 24-yard carry for Gary Coleman.
Split backfield. Blassie back to pass on 1st and 10. Overthrew Jesse Dupes. Dupes was open. Would have been good for about 9-10 yards, and Dupes, if he could have caught that ball, he had a little bit of room down the far sideline, but it was just overthrown incomplete.
But an encouraging call for Middletown there is Blassie was given a green light on 1st down, and you know, you've got those 8 players on the line of scrimmage again for Lower Dauphin. Middletown has to show that they're willing to throw the football to have them drop out of that. And Blassie just overthrows his intended receiver. The tough thing for Middletown, it gives them a 2nd and 10.
Split backfield, wing near side, handoff goes to Coleman. It's the counter crisscross, and it's fumbled, and Lower Dauphin comes up with it.
Just a huge turnover, bad execution there for Middletown. And, you know, we've seen that counter crisscross. It has not been that effective this season so far for Middletown. And normally in the past it's been very effective, and what happens on that counter crisscross, you've got a lot of exchanges. You've got one from the quarterback to the running back, which is normal, but you've got one from a running back who's not near as comfortable handing the ball off as a quarterback is to another running back, and that time just a miscommunication between Coleman and Dupes, and it gives Lower Dauphin the ball in good field position.
Schumann and Lely in the eye again. Handoff goes to Lely up the middle. Keeps his balance for a good 6 yards. Looked like he was going to get tripped up early, but maintained balance and got about 7 yards on the play. It's 2nd and 3.
No question, the turnovers have been the big story so far in this football game. An interception on Middletown's first drive stopped them. Lower Dauphin later recovered a fumble deep in Middletown's territory to set up a field goal, and now this turnover when Middletown looked to get a little bit of momentum.
Handoff goes to Schumann up the gut again. He's got enough for a 1st down, and he's down to about the Middletown 26-yard line.
And just some gaping holes being opened up on that right side of the Lower Dauphin offensive line the last 2 plays, and Middletown just not being able to shed their blocks quickly enough. And another 1st down for Lower Dauphin as they're moving the ball well on this drive after the turnover. Got an official's timeout as it looks like there's another helmet problem for Lower Dauphin.
Okay, now problem has been fixed and the clock goes in motion once again. 7:38 of the play, 3rd quarter. Lower Dauphin leads this game 10-0 and has the ball on the Middletown 26-yard line. Motion towards the far side. That's Strom. Power eye backfield. Pitch goes back to Lely. Lely with a big hole. Quickly shut down, but only after a gain of 6 yards. And Lower Dauphin's down at the Middletown 20-yard line.
Nice pursuit from Randy Hefner on that play from his middle linebacker position. And, you know, Lely on that pitch sweep, that time he got good blocking out, leading the way. He had clear sailing for a little bit, and it was Hefner who closed the hole, able to bring Lely down. But again, good yardage on 1st down. It sets up an option on 2nd down of whatever kind of running play you want to do. You don't have to be forced to pass.
Power eye backfield. Handoff goes to deep man. That's Lely. And he's stood up at the line of scrimmage, manages to bowl forward for a yard or 2. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 2 for Lower Dauphin.
And Middletown has to step up here. They have to have somebody on the defensive side of the ball step up and make the big play here. There's so many times that you have a situation where a player has to come out and make a big play in a big situation, and the player from Middletown that you'd expect to do that would be J.J. Baker. Let's see exactly what Baker does on this play. This is a key situation in this football game, and let's see where he lines up. He's on the nose right now from a linebacker position.
And we got penalty flags flying.
Delay of game against Lower Dauphin. They took much too much time coming out of the huddle, and that is the first indication of where you may be missing the senior leader or the junior leadership of Brian Broadwater. Santana not taking a lot of snaps this season. He's a sophomore. He's into this ball game because of a concussion to Broadwater, and Santana a little bit too much time getting his team out of the huddle. Also a little bit of a mistake by the coaching staff as well from Lower Dauphin, because it's their responsibility to make sure that quarterback has plenty of time to have that play and get it up to the line.
So now Santana comes out on a 3rd and 7 rather than a 3rd and 2. Split backfield. It's Lilly and Schumann. He's also got Strom back there. Santana to throw. Has it. It looks like it's complete, but it may not be enough for the first down.
It's going to be short, but not by much. And it's going to set up an interesting situation. 4th down and 2 for Lower Dauphin. Actually closer to a long 1. As it was Brad Strom with the reception on the far side. A little diving catch. He did a good job making the grab. And they're going to go for it on 4th down. A huge play in this football game.
Very big play indeed. Power I backfield, wing and split to the near side. The handoff goes to Schumann, and he's stopped. He doesn't have it. Middletown's going to take over. There was the big play from the Middletown defense.
And it was Randy Hefner and Ed Fox. Hefner got him low. Fox took him high, pushed him back. No first down for Lower Dauphin. Middletown takes over on downs. 5:31 left to go in this 3rd quarter, and we'll have to see if that's a turning point in this football game. 10-0 Lower Dauphin is the score at this point. With 5:31 left to go in the 3rd quarter, Blue Raiders have the football.
Middletown comes up split backfield from their own 19-yard line. And the handoff goes to Coleman around near side. Big hole. He's out to the 30, the 35. And he's finally tackled out at about the 38-yard line. There's another big run by Gary Coleman. I tell you, Middletown going to have to give the ball to Coleman.
It's that sweep to the left side. It's that second time that they went that way, and they got good down blocking from the left side of the offensive line. And Coleman that time, it looked like he had a break to the outside, but the last time he ran that play, he tried to cut it outside. He was cut off by the safety man, Rich Scherzer. And that time, Scherzer was coming up, and Coleman tried cutting inside and was brought down.
And off again goes to Coleman around near side. Squirts through again. He's out across midfield down to the 46-yard line. Gary Coleman, he is running with some meaning. You can tell.
No question about it, Steve. It's just a different purpose in there. And Middletown is going behind the beef of the line. They're going behind Craig Brown. They're going behind the tight end, Josh Schiavone. They're going behind their center man, and that's Widener and Shirks over there as well. Middletown knows what they have to do. They've got to get the ball to Gary Coleman. And this time he's lining up on the near side with a double tight end formation.
Dupes is the wing. The handoff this time goes to Baker up the middle. Big hole across the 35 down to the 30-yard line. 15-yard run for J.J. Baker. And the Middletown running game starts to unwind here in the 3rd quarter.
No question about it. That's, again, they go left side behind Ralph, Shirk, and Widener over the left side. And Middletown making no bones about it. They're going to follow their big horse, Craig Rao, on the left side of that offensive line. They're going to mix it up to Baker and Coleman over there, but that's where they're going to run the ball.
Sayers split far side, Treaders the wing to the near side. Handoff goes to Coleman. Coleman around the near side. Squirts through again. He's in the 20, down to the 15, the 10. Brought down from behind at about the 6-yard line. I think we're going to have a late hit here against Lower Dauphin as well.
No question about it. John Buchanan in there a little bit late for Lower Dauphin as Coleman brought down from behind. Making the saving tackle on that one was James Orwan, a defensive back, a sophomore. And this Middletown crowd, this is the loudest that I've heard a Middletown crowd in quite some time. This crowd very much into this football game. And again, a defensive stand like the one that Middletown made on their own 18-yard line is the kind of thing that can bring a crowd into a game. It can bring a team into a game. Middletown looking lethargic to that point. A big stop from Hefner and Fox. And from that point on, this drive has been fantastic for the Raiders.
Chris Blasey asking for some crowd support. Split backfield handoff goes to Baker. Left side.
and Craig Rao, Eric Shirk in there for the injured Mike Dukes, and Brian Widener. Those three guys just led Coleman and Baker all the way down the field, 82 yards for a Middletown touchdown, and Middletown right back in it.
Chris Blasey lining up for the extra point. Lake Orse, the holder. There's the snap. And the kick, it's up, and it's straight down the pike. 4:02 left to play in the third quarter. It's Lower Dauphin 10, Middletown 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Daly's Golf of Middletown caters to the avid Blue Raider sports fan. Daly's Golf has minor engine repair, oil changes, new tire installation. In fact, they do just about everything automotive. Joe Daly or any one of the fine mechanics at Daly's Golf will help you with your automotive needs. Daly's is open Monday through Friday, beginning with early bird service at 5:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. or Saturday from 7 till 5. Daly's Golf at the corner of Main and Spruce Streets in Middletown.
Welcome back to homecoming weekend, Middletown's Memorial Field. That drive for Middletown, 5 plays, 82 yards, a minute 28 is all it took off the clock. 5 plays behind the left side of the offensive line from Middletown. Touchdown. J.J. Baker caps it off with the touchdown run from the 3-yard line.
And the shortest play of that drive, barring the 3-yard touchdown run by Baker, was the 16-yard run by J.J. Baker. Middletown just, the crown game has shown up.
And the crowd, the crowd has showed up as well. That's a big factor.
Blasey's kickoff, this is a good one. It's down to the 15-yard line, taken by Lower Dauphin. And that was James Borwin, who returned it out to the 30-yard line, which is where Lower Dauphin will take over.
And as much as this last series was a huge one for Middletown to follow up that big defensive stand, this could be the most important series of the game for Lower Dauphin. They have to try to quiet this crowd down. They have to try to stop the momentum, and the only way to do that is to try to control the ball with the ground game that's worked so well between Scott Lely and also J.D. Schumann.
Lely and Schumann in the backfield. Santana, the quarterback, will hand it to, looks like Lely up the gut, and not much there. Picked up 2 yards. It'll be second, and we'll call it a short 8-yard. We'll call it second and 7.
And Lely, not a lot of space there, just snuck in between a little bit of a hole that he found in the line, but Middletown's defense trying to get the crowd into it, as a lot of players on the field waving to the crowd, trying to get them to raise the volume and make it tough for the sophomore quarterback to get the signals going.
Power eye on second and 7. Handoff goes far side to Strom, and he's got big hole. And Shredder made a touchdown-saving tackle, because I didn't see many people who was going to catch Strom that time. I tell you, I was faked out at first, too.
Well, definitely Middletown was faked out. There's no question about that, and that's the 3rd time they've used that misdirection play, and it's gotten better all 3 times they've used it. The first time got him at 3 yards, the second time got him about 10 yards, and this time a big gain for Strom as Middletown was totally faked out. Mike Trutter, the safety man, as you said, a shoestring tackle bringing down Strom at the Middletown 46.
Split backfield handoff goes up the gut to Schumann. He doesn't get much once again. He picks up about 2. We'll call it second and 8 for Lower Dauphin, who now have it at the Middletown 44-yard line, trailing by 3 points, 10-7 with 2:30 left to go in the third.
That run from Strom quieted the crowd down a little bit, stopped a little bit of the momentum, but in Lower Dauphin, I still think they need a little bit to control the ball a little bit more on this drive. They have to get another first down or so to really take the momentum out of this ball game.
Second and 7, handoff goes to Lely up the middle, met by J.J. Baker around the 41-yard line, and you meet J.J. Baker one-on-one, and 9 times out of 10, he's going to take you down there, and that's what happened. 3rd and 5 upcoming for the Falcons.
Well, it was fortunate for J.J. Baker. He hit him a little bit high, but he wasn't taking him on one-on-one. Randy Hefner had Lely's feet that time. That sort of helps out when you got somebody stopping the legs of somebody. Hefner's around the legs, and Baker just takes him high. Unfortunately, for Baker, his hit was a little bit too high on that play, but because Hefner had Lely by the feet, it knocked him off balance and brought him down after a short gain.
Single set back is Lely. Man in motion to the near side, gives him trips to the near side. Santana will fire it across the middle, and it's complete to Strom, but he's dropped as soon as he got it. Pickup of about 2 on the pass completion. Brings up a 4th down and 3 from the Middletown 39-yard line. What to do, what to do. Looks like Pantalone's going to punt the ball.
A lot of credit to J.J. Baker there. Even though he wasn't in on the play, he really influenced that play a little bit on that one. Because Strom, he saw the pass immediately going to Strom over the middle, jumped over top of Strom, and kind of threw Strom's motion off a little bit. Strom did catch the ball and was brought down immediately by the man after Baker. But Baker got his hand in there, ran past the play, went for the interception. And we're going to have a delay of game against Lower Dauphin to move the ball back a little bit and to give them a better opportunity to get an angle to punt the ball here. But in that situation, Baker was in on the play, and Middletown, we saw in the first half that they didn't handle that trips formation too well because they had the blitz on. That time, Baker not blitzing, able to pick up the secondary, the third receiver, and that was Strom.
Jeremy Burrows set back to punt, back about his own 44-yard line. There's the kick, flag on the play, and Blasi just going to let this one go, and it's going down into the end zone, but we got some other business to take care of out here.
We got a false start against Lower Dauphin, no question about it. Right side of the offensive line moved on that one. And because of that, Middletown has an interesting situation. Do you take the ball at the 20-yard line, or do you make them punt it again 5 yards further back? And really, the punter, Burrows, has been kind of shaky today. He's had a couple good punts, and the first punt he made, he shanked it. So, I mean, Middletown going to put the offense on the field, not risk a mistake from the punt coverage team and from the punt return team. You don't want to give them a chance to really blister the guy back there returning the ball, and incidentally happens to be your quarterback.
Well, that's what Middletown will do. They'll have the ball on their own 20-yard line, trailing 10-7 to Lower Dauphin here on homecoming day, 1994. 36 seconds left in the third quarter, and we can look for more of the same. Running attack here coming up for Middletown. Split backfield. Dupes is the wing to the far side. They got 2 tight ends to the near side. Handoff goes to Baker up the middle. He's got 10 yards, still driving, 15 yards on the play. He's out to the 35, and J.J. Baker, big carry off the left side again.
And great adjustment from Middletown. They saw how well the left side of the line was doing. They said, why don't we just throw another blocker over there? They threw the unbalanced line over there, threw a second tight end on the left side of that offensive line that time, and had Baker follow them and just picked up 15 yards.
Looks like there's going to be one more play here in the third quarter. Handoff goes to Coleman around the left side again. Gets through, gets out to the 40, out to the 45. It looks like he's going to have another Middletown first down, and that is going to end the third quarter of play. With the score, Lower Dauphin 10, Middletown 7. We'll be back for the fourth quarter play with Brian Kaiser here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Newcomer Oil Corporation presents Pacific Pride, a new convenient way to purchase gasoline and diesel fuel. Pacific Pride is open 24 hours a day, and it's simple to use. Just use the Pacific Pride Fuel Card. Fuel up your automobile and be on your way. It's that quick and easy. You also receive monthly discounts for fuel purchases. Pacific Pride is located at the corner of E-Mall and Adelia Streets in Middletown. For information about becoming a Pacific Pride Fuel customer, call Newcomer Oil Corporation at 944-5251. That's 944-5251.
Ball game we got for you. Fourth quarter upcoming, 10-7. Lower Dauphin over Middletown, but the Blue Raiders have the ball and the momentum at their own 46-yard line. Gary Coleman, the last carry, 10 yards, put him over 100 yards on the day. Interesting stat from our statistician, Matt Demme. His first 6 carries in the game were for 9 yards, and now he is at 101 yards on 11 carries. Blasi brings the Raiders to the line, split backfield. Give us to Baker behind the left side, big hole. Picks up 5 yards, but the penalty flag is thrown. And Eric Shirk not happy about it. He picked up the flag, and very fortunate the referee did not see that. They're going to call him for the holding. And that's going to push the Blue Raiders back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, it looks like the spot of the foul is going to be about the 48-yard line, so it'll bring up We'll call it a 1st and 18 from where they're going to spot the ball.
You know, I've always thought it was kind of rude for the referees to kind of throw their flag right at the person who makes the penalty, and you could tell exactly who it was on that play just because Shirk, the flag was thrown right at him. He grabbed and just threw it down. So they catch Shirk for holding. Going to bring up a first down, and 18 for Middletown at their own 39-yard line. Blasey give to Coleman, going right side, cuts back to the left side, has a hole at the 45, up to the 50 across midfield, down to the 47-yard line of Lower Dauphin. A gain of 15 yards for Gary Coleman.
Gary Coleman, very intelligent play that time. He's coming around the right side, and saw that there was a few Lower Dauphin players over there, so hey, I like it on the left side. I've had almost all my yards over there. I might as well go back over there, and he picked up an extra about 5 yards by doing that.
11:15 left to go, fourth quarter. Lower Dauphin up by 3. Middletown is second and 3. Baker tries the left side, pulls forward and is pushed back after a gain of 2. Schumann was there on the defense for Lower Dauphin. They'll bring up a 3rd down and 1 for Middletown at the Lower Dauphin 45-yard line.
I'll tell you, this is a big play coming up for the Lower Dauphin defense. They've got to stop Middletown if they want to win this game, and there's no better place to do it than on your own 45-yard line on a 3rd and 1. And then you get to see what Middletown would do on a 4th down situation with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game.
Do you think they're going to try the left side again, Steve?
Do you think they're going to give it to Baker?
No, I think they're going to try right side. They've moved Craig round to the right side, unbalanced line to the right. 3rd and 1 from the 45-yard line of Lower Dauphin. Give is to Baker, left side, at the 40, at the 35, at the 30, down to the 29-yard line. First down, Middletown.
A little deception by Dennis Etsy. He did put Rao on the right side, and he gave it to Baker anyway, and he still went to the left side. But didn't matter. Good play called by Dennis Etsy. 15-yard
pickup. And give credit to Mike Schatz. He's calling plays from up above. May have seen something over there. Over adjustment to the unbalanced line. And Middletown to pick up a 16 for Baker. They've got a first down at the Lower Dauphin 29-yard line. Double tight end formation. Split to the near side. Give us to Coleman, sweeping to the left. Spun down and a loss of a yard. Good penetration from the Lower Dauphin defensive line. Mike Rhodes in there on the stop for the Falcons. Brings up a 2nd and 11 for the Blue Raiders.
I'll tell you, if there's a guy out there on this Lower Dauphin defensive unit that can bring Lower Dauphin to an emotional high, it's got to be Mike Rhodes. And he's 6'2", 284 pounds, right in the center of that defensive line.
Unbalanced line to the right for Middletown. Blasey calls the snap. 2nd and 11, give to Baker. They try left side again and stuffed. Good adjustment from Lower Dauphin. Give him a yard, maybe 2. Brings up a 3rd down, and we'll call it 10 for Middletown.
You can basically say Middletown's going to have 2 cracks to get the first down here, and Dennis Etsy wants to think about it.
He definitely does. So at 9:06, Middletown calls timeout. 9:06 left to go in the ball game. Lower Dauphin 10, Middletown 7. We'll take a break as well. We'll be back after this on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Are you concerned about the future financial security of your family or business? When was the last time you had your life and disability insurance reviewed and your investment and retirement program analyzed? For answers to these important questions, call a professional, Tim Knoll, COU. He is a local chartered financial consultant with more than 28 years experience. Call Tim at 939-0968 for a free consultation. That's 939-0968.
Welcome back to Middletown's Memorial Field homecoming weekend, and the Blue Raiders were very much in danger of having the Lower Dauphin Falcons spoil their homecoming.
Well, they still are in danger.
They still are in danger, but not near as bad as it looked after one half of play. Middletown with a little bit of momentum behind them. 10-7, Lower Dauphin still leads, though. And a 3rd down and 10 for the Blue Raiders upcoming at the Lower Dauphin 29-yard line. Dukes comes in the slot to the near side. Coleman is the wing to the near side. Single setback is J.J. Baker. Blasey calling the snap. He will roll to the right. Looking as a man is Shaboni, the tight end. He's at the 25, at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown of Josh Shaboni. The Blue Raiders take the lead 13-10 on a gutsy play
near side, and he beat his man, and he had clear sailing from there. He turned a corner. One man had a chance to get over about the 20-yard line, and he kind of high-stepped away from that, went into the end zone, and we saw some emotion from the Middletown players down here in the end zone. They are pumped. They got the momentum going their way, and they have a 3-point lead and can tack on another one with Blasie's extra point.
Second touchdown of the year for Josh Schiavone, and what a big one it was with 8:57 left to go in the fourth quarter. Legor puts the snap down, the kick is up, and the extra point is no good. Pulled to the left. Blasie shanked it over to the left, and the Blue Raiders will lead by 3. We're going to take a break in the action. Middletown has taken a 13-10 lead over Lower Dauphin. 8:57 left to go in the ball game. Can the Falcons come back? We'll find out on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Now you can catch the excitement of Blue Raider football on videotape. The Blue Raider Sports Network and the Middletown Athletic Department presents Middletown football on VHS. All the games, home or away, recorded on videotape with the actual WNSS broadcast. Save all the exciting moments of Middletown football for years to come. Each tape costs just $10 and proceeds benefits WNSS Student Radio and Middletown Athletics. You'll never miss a game again. Tapes available at all Middletown home games or by calling the Middletown Recreation and Athletic Office. Get your Middletown football game tape today.
Welcome back to Middletown's Memorial Field. That last touchdown drive from Middletown. 8 plays, 3 minutes and 39 seconds. And it was a 3rd down and 10 play. Josh Schiavone, the tight end, sneaking out into the flat, broke a tackle, and received a pass from Blasie for a 29-yard touchdown catch and run for Middletown. They take the lead 13-10, but Steve, missed extra point for Bloom Large.
Missed extra point. That could be bad. Now Lower Dauphin could tie it up with a field goal, and Eric Miller, the 30-yarder that we saw earlier, what was it? Was that a 23-yarder? I believe that would have been good from about 35, 40, perhaps.
Blasie to kick it off from his 40. High kick going to the left side. Received by Lower Dauphin at the 15-yard line. Up to the 25-yard line is the up back, and that was Roy Warlow. Lower Dauphin will take over there. And very important to remember that Lower Dauphin forced to play without their starting quarterback right now. Brian Broadwater, he's out with a concussion that was suffered in the first half. Brad Santana, a 6'1 sophomore, is the quarterback for the Falcons. Lower Dauphin comes up to the line. You've got 2 wideouts to the far side, to the near side. Single setback is Schumann. Santana calling the signals at his own 25, 1st and 10. Little trouble on the snap, now throws into the flat, complete and buried. The completion was made to Mike Jackson at the 29-yard line, and Jan Michael Lawrence was there.
Yeah, he was right there. It was a couple of yards behind, but he gives him about a 6, 7-yard cushion there, and a quick completion out to Jackson, and Lawrence just came up and buried him as soon as he got his hands on the ball.
Santana in the shotgun, in motion, goes Strom. 3 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Strom going in the flat. They throw across the middle, and it is complete. Mike Lehrman breaks a tackle at the 45 and brought down at the 49-yard line. Good play call from Lower Dauphin. They pick up a 1st down, and they are just short of midfield. Middletown trying to get a timeout, and they will get one. Dennis Etsy not liking what he sees as Lower Dauphin trying to mix things up here with the shotgun.
I think Dennis Etsy is remembering the last time that Middletown had taken the momentum away from a team on this field. Game 1. Middletown goes down, scores, ties the game up at 14, and then Bishop McDevitt marched right down the field. And they were virtually unstoppable on that drive, and they won the game 21-14.
And they did it through the air as well, and that's what Lower Dauphin's doing here. They're throwing the ball effectively, and that play was an illustration of just how well this sophomore quarterback, Santana, is capable of running this offense. He had Strom going in the flat, looked him off as 3 Middletown players saw exactly where he was looking, looked him off and saw his man Lehrman across the middle, and he was wide open, and Treader bit on the look-off, and because of that, Lehrman, big play for Lower Dauphin.
Middletown did have a late reaction by Randy Hefner on that play. The man in motion gave him trips to the near side, and Hefner was a little bit slow getting over to cover that man in motion. He was a linebacker on the near side, and that's his responsibility when that man goes in motion. But the play went across the middle, not out to the flat. That one was open. That pass was open as well.
2 wide either side. Now Strom in motion to the near side. On first and 10. Fox is there. Almost gets the sack. Thrown away by Santana. Put up for grabs. Intercepted by Mike Trenner. Intercepted at the 32-yard line. Middletown. Mike Trenner picks it off. And a bad decision from Santana as he was flustered. And that's where you lose Brian Broadwater. And that's a big play for Middletown.
I'll tell you, as a quarterback, you eat that sack. You don't try to put that ball up for grabs. And that's a free ball for anybody who's around where it comes down, because at that point, he had no control where he was going to throw it to. And Mike Tretter saw it the whole way, got right under it, and picked it off.
7:36 and counting left to go in the fourth quarter. Middletown leads 13-10. They have the ball at their own 31-yard line. Give us to Baker on the left side. Hit by Schumann in the backfield, and Baker spins forward for a gain of 1 or 2 yards. We'll give him 1 up to the 33-yard line. It'll bring up a second down and 9 for Middletown.
You can bet Dennis says he's going to keep the ball on the ground here, eat up some clock. 7:08 and counting left to play in the game with a 3-point lead.
I don't understand why. I mean, you've got such an explosive passing game now. All of a sudden,
yeah.
I mean, you throw the ball 5 times in the game, you break one for a touchdown. That's explosive, folks. You've got an unbalanced line to the near side this time. Baker, Coleman, split in the backfield behind Blasio on the 2nd and 9. Give us the Coleman sweeping left side. Stumbles forward for a couple yards. It looked like he had a hole, but had to dart through a little crease and was unable to squeeze through.
I think J.D. Schumann caught him right around the line of scrimmage, and that caused him to slip up and fall forward for a couple yards on the play.
Now, we've called Schumann's name quite a bit in the last few defensive series. He had a good game, a good first half running the football, but he's done a bang-up job here in the second half. If there's one guy who's standing out on defense for Lower Dauphin, it would be Schumann. But Middletown has had things their way, moving the football in the second half, and with 6:10 left to go in the fourth, it's a big 3rd down and 7 play from their own 34. Baker gets the carry up the middle, and he's going to be very close, and they're going to give him the first down with the spot just across the 42-yard line. First down, Middletown. Referee signals, crowd responds. Blue Raiders have a first down at the 42-yard line of Middletown.
That's Middletown playing against Lower Dauphin here. That ball was real close to a first down. Referees gave him the spot, but a lot of these fans remember 1 year ago on a controversial spot on a 4th down play that gave Lower Dauphin the ball and possibly the game.
That was a 10-7 victory, and don't think that Dennis Etzi doesn't remember that one bit. Blasey gives to Coleman, sweeping left side. Breaks a tackle, gets up to the 45-yard line, brings up about a 2nd and 8 for Middletown. Clock continues to roll.
Good sidestep there by Coleman. He was in trouble in the backfield. I believe he had Andy Strite in the backfield of Middletown, and Coleman did a nice job of sidestepping away and picking up a couple yards.
Middletown calls timeout. We're going to keep it right here. Reminder that Harrisburg Heat soccer coming up tonight here on WRSS. It's the Harrisburg Heat at the defending champion Cleveland Crunch, and a very explosive team that Cleveland has indeed. It should be a fantastic game tonight, the season opener for Harrisburg Heat, and it's here on WRSS. John Wilsbach coming at you from Cleveland at 6:50 tonight. A special thanks to all of our sponsors who have been with us throughout the year. Fox's Markets, Daly's Golf, Metzler's Hillsdale Nursery, Tim Knoll Insurance, Rhodes Pharmacy, Olmsted Plaza Barbershop, and a special thank you as well to Newcomer Oil.
Now by Middletown, 3-point lead, 2nd and 8 upcoming. You can bet Middletown's going to keep it on the ground, try to wind its clock down, and go into next week's game, which will be at East Pennsboro. Pregame show, 7 o'clock. Kickoff at 7:30 here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
A very improved East Pennsboro team. If you haven't seen their record, a lot of people would be surprised to see them have only 1 loss and 1 tie. 2nd down and 8. Baker gets the carry over the left side. He picks up a yard, and that is all, and a penalty flag is thrown around the line of scrimmage. So the clock stops on the penalty with 5:11 left to go here in the ball game. 13-10 our score, Middletown leading Lower Dauphin. And the penalty will be an illegal motion against the Blue Raiders. And this is going to be an interesting situation, Steve, to see exactly what Lower Dauphin does. They stop the play for a short gain. And now do you take the 3rd down and 7, or do you push Middletown back even further and give them a 2nd down and 12?
I'd decline it.
And that's exactly what they do.
I'll tell you why. Because Middletown, if they're able to get a decent run, which they've gotten a number off here in the second half, it's been for 15 yards, so that 5 yards really wouldn't mean too much to me. You only got to stop them once now for 7 yards or less.
3rd down and 7. Another big play for the Lower Dauphin defense. Dupes comes out of the formation. Treader goes in. 3rd down and 7. Middletown at their own 46-yard line with a 3-point lead. And delay of game, Middletown. And folks, that pushes the ball back 5 yards without taking the penalty. A huge penalty against Middletown.
Yeah, that was a bad thing for Middletown to do there.
The coaches just didn't get the play in. They sent Treader in for Dupes, and they just did not get the play on the field in time in that situation. And Dupes comes back in, brings a new play into Blasi, and Treader comes right back out. So a 3rd down and 12 from the Middletown 41. Blasi brings the team up. Dupes the wing to the near side, back split. Coleman in motion. They will run the option. Blasi sweeping near side, cuts it up inside to the 45-yard line. Gain of 4, but nowhere near the 1st down. And Middletown will be forced to punt in this situation with 6:30 and counting left to go in the 4th quarter. Blue Raiders with a 13-10 lead over Lower Dauphin here on Middletown's homecoming 1994. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us for this ball game. It's been a dandy. Lower Dauphin jumping out to a 10-0 lead in the 1st half, but Middletown has, after a big defensive stand with 5:31 left to go in the 3rd quarter, Fox and Hefner stopped Lower Dauphin on the 4th and 1, and since that time, Middletown has had the momentum and has taken the lead. We're going to have an offsides now as Baker was set to punt the ball, and there's going to be an offsides, and I believe it's going to be against Lower Dauphin.
And Middletown.
No. Fans don't like the call.
Yeah, I don't know if this had anything to do with it, but Treader was coming off the field. He was the 11th player. Middletown only had 10 out there on that play.
The motion call.
I don't think that would have been the reason for the penalty.
Well, the only idea that you could put behind that is maybe somebody was covering the spot of whoever was missing in that situation. But Middletown will try it again. Push back 5 more yards. Baker at his own 32-yard line. Punts it away. A high punt, but not a deep punt. And the ball goes down. It takes a very nice Middletown bounce all the way to the 22-yard line. The ball hit at the 35-yard line of Lower Dauphin and bounced another 13 yards. Everything coming up the Blue Raiders' way so far here in the 2nd half. And with 3:50 left to go here in the 4th quarter, Lower Dauphin going to try to turn things around. 13-10 again is our score. Brian Kaiser along with Steve Lee, Matt Demme, Justin Perry, our studio producers today, Scott Bingaman, as well as Mark Arnold. Santana in the shotgun has 2 wides to either side. Well, single step back, the ball is snapped away, and Santana falls on the ball at the 1-yard line. Had plenty of time to pick that ball up, instead chose to just fall on the ball, and it brings up just a huge loss for Lower Dauphin, a loss of 21 yards on the play.
Well, you got to look at it this way. The Lower Dauphin offensive line held the Middletown players back, but when you got your back turned to the line, you don't know what's coming at you. So if it's not in the end zone, might as well fall on it.
And now it is 2nd down and a lot. Call it 30. Santana again in the shotgun. Back to pass. He stands, fires over the middle, and the pass is overthrown, incomplete, looking for his tight end, Mike Lehrman, who was lined up in the slot that time. Incomplete pass. Treader was back to help out on the defense. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 30, which is a lot, with 2:53 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Timeout called by Lower Dauphin. We're going to take one as well. Again, there's 2:53 left to go in the ball game. 13-10, Middletown leading Lower Dauphin. We'll be back with the conclusion of this football game here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Talk about service.
The people here are so friendly. They're just terrific.
Talk about value.
I like Fox's because of the convenience, the quality, the prices.
Talk about quality and freshness.
I especially like the meats and the produce.
Let's talk about all the reasons why Fox's Market make you feel good. Fox's Market.
Fox's is a proud supporter of Middletown athletics.
Fox's Market make you feel good.
Welcome back to Middletown's Memorial Field. Brian Kaiser with Steve Leedy. 3rd down and 30. Yes, that's right. 3rd down and 30 coming up for Lower Dauphin after a 20-yard loss on 1st down when the quarterback Santana fell on a bad snap at Lower Dauphin's own 3-yard line. Santana in the shotgun here. Blue Raiders lead by 3. Less than 3 minutes left to go. Santana takes a snap, throws long, looking for Strom, and it's overthrown incomplete. Lawrence was with him every step of the way, and Lower Dauphin faces 4th down and 30 yards to go.
And I think Lower Dauphin's going to have to punt this ball. They got to have their defense come in and make a stop as soon as Middletown gets the ball. I believe they have 2 timeouts left. So if they could stop Middletown, they'd get the ball back, but they'd get it in really crummy field position.
And Lower Dauphin in the huddle, getting ready to punt. Middletown is not even going to put a man back to return the punt. Not necessarily saying they're going to go after this one to block it, but what they are going to do is they're going to make sure no one mishandles the ball. Back to punt in his own end zone, and Burrows takes the safety. He will fall on the ball, and that is not necessarily a bad play. The one thing it does eliminate, though, is the field goal attempt.
Yes, it does eliminate the field goal. But now they get the free kick from the 20-yard line. And Middletown would have worse field position, certainly worse than they were going to have if they would have punted the ball. If they would have punted it, they would have got it about the 40-yard line. And then if Lower Dauphin made the stop, Middletown would probably try to angle a punt out.
And the question is here, do you try to kick it on sides? You've got the ball at the 20-yard line. You got 2:42 left to go. Your defense is going to have to stop them almost immediately anyways. Do you kick it on sides from the 20-yard line? Does it really matter where you have to stop the other team, at the 30-yard line or at your own 30-yard line or their 30-yard line?
That's true.
I mean, there's a lot of options here. Interesting call from Vince Panalo. He takes the safety, gives Middletown a 15-10 lead with 2:42 left to go in the football game. He has taken away the kicking, but, you know, they do say a tie is like kissing your sister. And obvious Vince Panalone had no interest in the tie in this football game. He felt his team played too well in the first half to settle for a tie in this game. And besides, to have any chance at a division title, Lower Dauphin would have to have a win in this football game anyways.
That is true. Middletown's got Dupes and Blasi.
The hands team is up for Middletown. And Taylor kicks it away. They kick it on sides. Dupes lets it go out of bounds almost, and Lower Dauphin looks like they have it. Middletown was not prepared for that one at all. They did not react, and Schumann, I believe, is the man who recovered the onside kick. A big play for Lower Dauphin. Schumann comes up with the ball at the Lower Dauphin 36-yard line.
And that was a big play, and that was the smart thing to do.
Dupes never reacted to that ball.
No, he didn't. He was lined up way away from the sideline. I don't know if Middletown was even looking for it.
Well, they had the hands team, but they didn't act like it.
Yeah, that's true.
So Lower Dauphin has it 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line. Santana throws incomplete, looking in the right flat for Mike Lerman. Just overthrew him a little bit. Dupes in on the coverage. They'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Lower Dauphin at their own 37-yard line. 2:27 left to go here in the ballgame. Middletown up by 5, 15-10 over Lower Dauphin in a game that has huge implications on not only the Mid-Penn Division II race, but also Middletown's district playoff chances. Santana with Lilly next to him. Santana in the shotgun. In motion goes Lehrman, 3 wide to the right side. Fires to the left side. This pass is overthrown. Intended for Clyde Wolf. Sevenak in on the coverage in front of him. Shredder in on coverage behind him, and the ball overthrown over all 3 of them. 3rd down and 10 upcoming for the Falcons.
And Ed Fox started that play on defensive end, and he had a clear shot back to Santana, so Santana had to get rid of the ball or else he was going to eat it.
Chris Blasi on the sideline trying to get the crowd into the game here, but a timeout was called by Lower Dauphin. We will take one as well. 2:23 left to go in the 4th quarter. 15-10 our score. Middletown over Lower Dauphin. Will it be a happy homecoming for Middletown? We'll find out next on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Rhodes Pharmacy in Middletown is under new management to make their business even better for you. Rhodes Pharmacy's new price philosophy is simple. They'll match any prescription price from any pharmacy. And Rhodes is a participating pharmacy for all insurance carriers and HMOs. They even have delivery service and 24-hour emergency service. Remember, you don't have to leave town to get discount prices and quality service. It's all at Rhodes Pharmacy. Open 7 days a week in Hummelstown. In Middletown, Rhodes is open 9 to 8 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday.
Welcome back to Middletown's Memorial Field. 3rd down and 10 upcoming for Lower Dauphin. Santana, the quarterback, in because of a concussion to Brian Broadwater that occurred in the first half. Lehrman. The snap is up the middle to Lely as they tried a little bit of deception, and Lely was tackled by Craig Rowell, who was not fooled. A 4-yard pickup brings up a 4th down and 6 for Lower Dauphin with 2:09 and counting left to go in the ball game. 4th and 6. The Falcons to the line. Huge play for both teams. 2 wide to either side. Santana calls the snap, takes the ball, back to pass, looking, fires across the middle, has a man, it's complete to Strom at the 43-yard line. And there's a flag behind the play, and Dennis Etzi says, we're taking them back. He's waving it back and holding against the Lower Dauphin Falcons to gain the big first down.
Now Lower Dauphin's going to be faced with about a 4th and 16. And we'll have another big play. This game is not over yet.
Interesting to see who exactly the holding penalty was on there, but you'd have to expect it may have been Ed Fox who was the one being held, because it's been Fox who's been getting a lot of pressure in this football game so far from his right defensive end position. And if that defensive end has a full head of steam at your quarterback, you got to really kind of pull him down just a little bit. Hope that the referee doesn't see it in that situation. The referee caught it, and it brings up a 4th down and 14 yards at the Lower Dauphin 32-yard line. 3 wide to the far side. Santana calling the snaps. Back to pass. Stands at his own 20, fires high, floats it in the air. Ball comes down and knocked down by Jared Michael Lawrence. Middletown takes over on downs.
Well, that was the right thing for Lower Dauphin to do, but Middletown had 2 guys back there. Shredder, Michael Lawrence, and Jesse Dukes was over there around where that ball came down. And Middletown takes over on downs, and they can pretty much just wind the clock from here.
And Lower Dauphin with only 1 timeout left is the calculation we have from up here. So with 1:34 left to go in the ball game, 15-10 Middletown leading Lower Dauphin. Blasi will probably have to take 3 snaps, and as long as you don't have the miscommunication, this one should be over. Blasi takes a knee at his 35-yard line. Lower Dauphin quickly calls timeout. We're going to keep it right here with 1:26, and just a huge game, Steve Leedy, assuming that Middletown is able to snap the ball and kneel on it 2 or 3 more times. Middletown escapes in this ball game.
Well, I'll tell you, last night I was watching East Pennsboro and Mechanicsburg, and I was more afraid of this Lower Dauphin team than I was of East Pennsboro. I feel that Middletown should come away a good 14 3-point winner next week at least against East Pennsboro, because East Pennsboro plays right into Middletown's hands. They run the ball a lot, don't pass very much. Of course, their quarterback got injured a little bit last night. He stayed in the game. Brinzer, the quarterback for East Pennsboro, but it's a favorable team for Middletown to beat is the Panthers, but they do play with a lot of heart over there.
No question about it.
I mean heart. Their running back Hart, and he's a good runner. He likes to sweep play. You'll see a lot of sweeps next week against East Pennsboro. And of course, the next week, should Middletown win next week at East Pennsboro, showdown against Mechanicsburg on this field.
And it should be for the divisional title if Middletown wins this week and next. Mechanicsburg should have no problem beating Milton Hershey. Blasey takes about 7 steps back and walks back and finally kneels down at his 40-yard line, a loss of 5 on the play for Middletown. But they're not really concerned about yardage right now. Brings up a 3rd down at 18 with 1:10, and the Falcons helpless to stop the clock. And it was a second-half barrage for Middletown. The big play in this football game, no question about it, the defensive stand by Middletown at their own 18-yard line. With 5:31 left to go in the 3rd quarter, Hefner, Fox make the big stop, turn this ball game around.
How long does the play clock run for here in high school football?
That long, because we've got 44 seconds left.
Looks like about 35 seconds on that one as Blasey down the ball. There's about 1:20 left.
They have to replace the ball first before they actually start the clock in motion once again. So
we'll call it a 30-second play clock.
30-second play clock, that's fine.
So Middletown will probably down it once again here.
It won't necessarily end the game yet, though. Blasey taking the snap, runs back, running around in the backfield, and is brought down. He never really got to kneel, takes an 8-yard loss there at his own 47-yard line. And with 33 seconds left, play clock is set in motion. And that's going to do it, folks. Only 25 seconds left, and that's it. The Middletown coaches know it, and they're going to be able to run this clock out and escape in today's homecoming. Middletown escapes with a 15-10 victory over the Lower Dauphin Falcons. A lot of heart shown by Lower Dauphin, and as they count it down, this crowd reacts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Middletown remains undefeated in Division II. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with post-game comments from Dennis Etsy. A huge game for Middletown. They win it 15-10 over Lower Dauphin here at Middletown's Memorial Field. Back with the post-game show here on the Blue Raiders Sports Network.
Super 91, WMSS Middletown.
Metzler's Hillsdale Nursery in Londonderry Township has a variety of plants and flowers like hollies and azaleas. They sell young plum and crabapple trees. In December, don't forget that Metzler's has Christmas trees. They even have mulch. Metzler's is open 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. weekdays, 8 till 5 on Saturdays. That's Metzler's Hillsdale Nursery at Hillsdale Road and Geyers Church Road near Sunset Golf Course in Londonderry Township.
They're America's Most Wanted. And if you're in need of a haircut, style cut, or perm, you can find America's Most